Hello everyone, my name is Nathan West and I will be discussing foreign exchange markets. So starting off, I will be discussing what a foreign exchange market is. Next, I will be discussing how to read a foreign exchange market curve and then the factors that influence the foreign exchange market. Finally, I'm going to be discussing how these factors can appreciate or depreciate currency. So, what is a foreign exchange market? The foreign exchange market is a market in which currencies from different countries are exchanged. The price that these currencies are bought and sold for is known as the exchange rate. The foreign exchange market determines the value of one currency to another, so the currency from one nation to another nation. The value of one country's currency is determined by the other countries. So a single country cannot determine how valuable their currency is compared to other countries. Only other countries can determine how much your currency is worth. So getting into the foreign exchange market curve. The foreign exchange market curve starts off looking like any market supply and demand curve. The first thing that we look at when examining a foreign exchange market curve is what the chart is comparing. In this example, we will be US dollars compared to Canadian dollars. The y-axis of the chart will be the price of a Canadian dollar in exchange for a US dollar. This can be represented as Canadian dollars over US dollars. In other words, this is how many Canadian dollars it would cost to buy a single US dollar. The x-axis of the chart is the quantity of US dollars. This is the number of US dollars that is currently in the foreign exchange market. Next, the blue line represents the supply of US dollars and the red line represents the demand for US dollars. Just like a standard supply and demand curve, in this situation, Americans would be the suppliers of US dollars and Canadians would be the demanders for US dollars. The equilibrium point where the supply of US dollars and the demand for US dollars meet is the exchange rate. The exchange rate would represent the total cost in Canadian dollars for a single US dollar. Additionally, it would represent the number of US dollars in the market that would be exchanged for that rate. There are four factors that influence the foreign exchange market. These factors are taste and preferences, price level or inflation, income, and interest rates. All these factors can increase or decrease the supply and demand for US dollars or any country's currencies. Let's say that the price level for a TV in the United States is much higher than the price level of a similar TV in Canada. In this situation, the demand for US dollars would decrease because less people would want to buy a TV with US dollars when they can get the same TV for less Canadian dollars. This situation would be represented by a leftward shift in the demand for US dollars and would move the equilibrium point downward. This would represent an exchange rate that where you can get more US dollars for less Canadian dollars. Additionally, the quantity of US dollars that people are willing to exchange at this rate would decrease. Because of the shift in demand, it would be said that the US dollar depreciated, meaning that its value has gone down. A similar situation would occur if price levels in the US went down compared to the price levels in Canada. This would result in an increase in demand for US dollars because people would be able to get more with their dollar in the United States. The increase in demand would be represented by a rightward shift for the demand curve. Just like before, this would move the equilibrium point and determine a new exchange rate. The upward shift of the exchange rate would indicate that the US dollar has appreciated, meaning that its value compared to the Canadian dollar is now higher. Alright, to wrap things up, the foreign exchange market is the way in which we compare and trade currencies around the world. Using the foreign exchange market curve, we can visually represent and compare the values of one currency to another. By comparing the currencies, we can determine whether a currency is appreciating or depreciating. Alright, that's all from me, guys. Thank you for listening, and I enjoyed doing this presentation.